Hello.
It's my first time here.
Welcome back. Welcome back to you. Welcome back to you. This is Jenny's first review in the new house, so we've got our casting couch situation happening.
This is not a casting couch situation. I'd like to clarify. I was pre-cast, so I never had to audition. The producers let me through with flying colors.
They did. Okay, so
I actually don't know what we're doing. She literally told me to come over and that we were drinking something, so I have an empty glass and she has a pitcher, and that's all I know.
Haha! So today we are trying my Pink Boots Hibiscus Pale Ale. So this is what I brewed on International Women's Day, hence the pinkness.
Wait a minute, I actually saw you guys setting up to brew this, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you were over that day.
I was working that day, so I was here when you were setting up to brew the hibiscus beer, but I didn't get to stay during the brew.
Yeah. Our lives are very intertwined.
It is, the color is, it's like if...
Here, I'll go ahead and pour
Rust and salmon had a baby.
Rust and salmon babies.
It is pink. It is really pretty. You haven't tasted this yet, or have you?
I only tasted it pre-carbonation. And guys, I literally carbonated this last night.
So before I drink this, because you've taught me, it's been a while since we've done one of these.
Oh, the color is gorgeous.
It is, and it's been a while since we've done one of these, so I want to let you do this the right way without me interrupting you. Tell me about the stuff that I don't understand. Tell me about the build, tell me about the hops, tell me about that.
Yeah. Okay, so the malt build is just 2-row and some caramel 10. There was 10 pounds of 2-row, 1 pound of caramel 10. The hops was just 2 ounces of the 2021 Pink Boots blend, which goes to support Pink Boots Society. How they decided on this blend of hops is they basically sent out packs to different groups of women from different breweries and different organizations, and everyone voted on what the blend should be this year.
So this was similar to the Black is Beautiful, where there was a recipe that was given to a lot of different women and everyone was able to brew a similar beer?
It's not the beer that's similar, it's only the hop blend.
What are you anticipating in the flavor of this? Because I don't have any preparation.
I think it's going to be slightly tart from the hibiscus, and other than that, pretty low hop profile, and just pretty light in general, I think. It came out to about 5% ABV. I overshot all of my metrics and had to add up 2 gallons of water to this.
So, okay. So,
okay.
I've never seen you do that. I have no concept of what that's going to do. Hibiscus is the one flavor I'm super familiar with. And so as a bartender, we use hibiscus a lot in cocktails, and I know the risks that you run with tea and hibiscus in general in terms of astringency and acidity and things like that, and over steepingness.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's probably going to be some astringency in this.
Well, but I'm okay with that with beer. There's difference with spirits and beer, but with hops as well. If you're telling me that you only use those couple, I don't know.
I only use
just
2 ounces, so it's pretty. Yeah. Okay, so let's do aroma first.
I have no idea what to expect.
So I definitely get hibiscus tea.
It is. I've been drinking a lot of yerba mate.
Ooh. Oh my god, you know what it reminds me of? Have you had those yerba mate cans?
No, we're brewing it at home.
Okay, so there's this yerba mate energy drink can stuff, and my favorite one is the blueberry, and that's exactly what this smells like.
Okay, so here's the reason I bring that up is because I used way too much of the tea leaves a while ago when I brewed it.
Oh man, I love yerba mate. I like it so strong.
So someone else made it for me and I really enjoyed the flavor, but then when I made it, I just put too much in, and so it was crazy astringent.
Yeah.
So when you said tea flavored, this fully pulls the good version of that yerba mate, the tea flavor.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about hibiscus versus yerba mate is an actual tea leaf.
Oh, sure. The green is different. But
yeah.
There's
I
something
think you can get a little more astringency from an actual tea versus a hibiscus.
But where this is differing from any other beer for me is still that herbal tea thing. It's a little more floral. The hibiscus definitely brings a little bit more floral.
Well, I also used Belgian yeast, so we might also be getting some phenols and esters. But I
almost wish you hadn't told me that, because I feel like you did it.
It doesn't smell like a Belgian at all.
No, exactly. That's exactly what I was
I'll tell you why. It's because I fermented it at 57 degrees, so I kept it at the like very minimum of what the yeast can take.
On the second floor anymore, where it's hot. You can actually control temperature easier.
I know, and the glycol like wasn't even running because it was so cold in the garage.
The nose on this is bright and somehow like comforting. Like something about the tea flavor is very, but it's still floral and springy a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
can I taste?
Yeah.
There's also something almost lemongrassy on the nose.
Ooh. It has like a slightly Saison vibe.
Oh, I was going to say spring. I don't know if I would have placed it on
so
Saison,
light.
but it's so bright, so clean.
Oh man, I could drink a lot of this.
Considering it feels lighter than I thought it would, because it does.
Yeah, it really
it's
does.
not clear. It is cloudy.
No, it's definitely hazy. It's hazy, but I also, like, if you think about it, I forced carbonated it yesterday, so I shook the crap out of it.
So maybe it'll settle?
Yeah, I think it will settle a lot.
This is even brighter and lighter than the cranberry.
Mm-hmm.
The cranberry still had some of the hop back.
Yeah.
It's like if you chilled hibiscus tea.
Yeah, it is.
It is so refreshing. It is so bright.
Yeah.
The hops add... If you ever made actual hibiscus tea and just threw hops into the tea, the flavors that the hops would impart into an actual tea, I feel like you're pulling the true plant flavors from those hops.
Yeah. It's also got like a mild like honey taste, like if you sweetened hibiscus tea with honey. And it's got an earthiness on the end, which I think might
You can get the hops?
It could either be the hops or it could be the tea. I can't really tell.
It is so refreshing. The sweetness is so natural. So honey makes sense. I don't know if I would have placed that. It just feels like the sweetness is inherently with...
I do get a little bit of like the lemongrass in the flavor more so than the nose.
But it breathes. Like this is...
Oh yeah.
If you didn't
I
tell
could
me
drink
this was
this like
alcoholic...
water.
I know.
It doesn't taste like it.
If you didn't tell me this was alcoholic and you served this to me at Starbucks, this is like a carbonated... hibiscus.
You could totally trick people with this one.
And I say that, like a lot of the times you get some of those like over fruited or over floral beers that are really sweet.
Yeah.
This does not feel sweetened at all.
No.
It's not sucrosey.
It's pretty dry, actually.
But it's bright and crisp and refreshing.
Yeah. This is going to be on the summertime list.
This is amazing.
For sure.
Sarah.
This is a pool beer.
Would you call this, is this a pale, you said this is a pale ale?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I built it as, but...
It doesn't drink like a pale ale.
No, it doesn't. It drinks like a Saison, but like a very un-Saison-y Saison, you know? Like...
Or like, is there a category for like, just summer ale?
I mean, yeah, but I don't know what the guidelines are, actually.
This is the guideline. Summer ale should feel like this. We're on a pool float. You can drink it, and it's got tea in it, so it's doing good things for your something inside of your body.
What does hibiscus do for you?
Makes you happy.
It does. It's funny that you said cranberry, because it compared the taste to cranberry.
Even the cranberry lager carried, and seasonally speaking, it was super fitting, because the weight that the cranberry lager carried was
that one
perfect
definitely
for fall.
had more body.
And it was more stringent.
Yeah.
But that worked for the season. It was more fall flavored. Okay. Antioxidants.
Ooh, yep, getting our antioxidants.
We are fighting free radicals. Animal studies have found that hibiscus extract has an antioxidant property. Additional studies are needed. That doesn't sound good. Hibiscus might help lower blood pressure, which, considering the past 18 months of our lives, most of us are dealing with additional stress and possibly additional blood pressure. So... What else? May help lower blood fat levels.
I feel like all of these things are what we need after quarantine.
And that's just because we eat like shit. I was doing that before quarantine.
True.
May boost liver health.
We're literally drinking a liver tonic.
To liver health.
To liver health. Wow, this is what we should keep on tap all the time.
Oh my god, like for real. From producing proteins to secreting bile to breaking down fat, your liver is essential to your overall health. Interestingly, studies have shown that hibiscus may promote liver health and help keep it working efficiently. One study... Overweight people.
Maybe.
We all run the risk. We all run the risk of, we should all strive to live a healthy lifestyle. But if you find yourself in a position, treatment with hibiscus extract decreased markers of liver damage. Girl. Detoxifies enzymes in the liver by 65%.
Hey, more
Bitch, please.
I was about to say more liver beers.
Can I
more
have
hibiscus beers?
May I have another liver beer, please?
So, may I have another?
Excuse me, can I have one of those liver beers? Could promote weight loss.
Sure.
May prevent cancer. Could help fight bacteria.
I mean, that's actually good to know.
It's flavorful and easy to make.
Cool. Good number 8. We obviously ran out of numbers.
You know what? To liver tea.
To liver tea.
Liver beer?
Liver beer.
This is delicious. I'm glad it was only 5-point-something% because any higher would have been really dangerous.
You know what? It actually reminds me a lot of my cherry saison, but that's like 8%.
The cherry saison, I also feel like, and I'm trying to remember, I think I'm thinking of the right beer. The cherry saison was a little tartar, right?
It's very tart, yeah.
So that's the thing, is because of how intense that flavor was, you still drank it slower?
Yeah. Well, some of us did. Some of us didn't.
This is so, like, thirst relieving, and it's so refreshing that, like, there's no need for that, like with, if I'm correct and I'm thinking about the right beer, that cherry saison you drank and you were like, I'm going to process this and have a feeling about this beer. This, I'm like,
I know, I don't think I've ever drank a beer this fast in a review. Well,
and I'm the one who talks more, so like,
I know.
Sarah, whatever it is that happened with this, I'll be curious to see you. A lot of your pale ales, you are drawn to really hop intricate, complex pale ales.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to scale it back. So
Okay.
my HBC 431 that you tried, that was a lighter hopped as well. So I'm trying to do lighter hopped so you can actually taste the flavor, because I'm tired of like the super bitter beers. I'm like not about that anymore. I want to taste all the ingredients. Like, I don't want the hops to overpower anything.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. If this is an indication of the progress, I am not against what you've ever done with your pale ales. I think I enjoy the complexity of how many different hops and malts you used in those. That last one we did taste was, I remember that one having more body and not being quite as bitter.
Yeah. It
but if this
was very melony.
Remember? Melony beer, we're going to rename that. I do remember, but it's interesting thinking about if this is part of that, how you're going to progress your own personal pale ale journey.
Yeah.
I look forward to when you start putting some of those hops back in.
Yeah, it's going to be a slow graduation,
It's going to be really exciting because you've always enjoyed the complexity.
Yeah.
And like your big pale ales, your big hop forward pale ales still worked because there was a depth of flavor. So now if you're lightening them, when you start picking and choosing your own personal...
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever go back to like the super highly hopped.
Try that again?
I don't think I'll ever go back to the super highly hopped beers just because it's not my taste anymore. But I would also like be curious to see how this tasted with a few more hops.
Oh, for sure. I think hibiscus as a flavor profile, and actually as you become more comfortable with these herbal tea flavors in general, seasonally speaking, I think it gives you such a huge range. Like that cranberry lager was so amazing for fall and touched on a lot of the same things, that for this to be so beautiful for summer, it's really exciting as a taster. It's exciting.
I'm just happy I have a whole keg of this.
I'm happy you have a whole keg of this. I'm just pissed that you don't live above me anymore.
I know, you're going to have to come visit more often.
Okay. Yeah, it's exciting to see your brewing confidence. These are bold choices you're making. These are so different than stuff you've done before, and it's really cool because you're trusting yourself.
Yeah, I feel like I have an idea of like what I want to make and how to do it now.
And
Because
I
like
think-
for a while I was chasing the IPA for so long, and it's just like it was just constant frustration because I was overdoing it and I didn't realize like what the flavors I was getting were from, and cutting back my hops has completely changed the way I brew.
Well, you honor the hop. You honor the flavor profile. Like you only put 2 malts and 2 hops in this, correct?
2 malts and like, well, it's just the blend.
So-
is the only hop in it.
Those 2 hops, what are the flavor profiles of those 2 hops?
Oh, it's a combination of like 7 hops.
I
think.
thought it was just
It's
the 2.
like cashmere, something, laurel, something.
But if I were going to guess, whatever that hop blend is, it's citrus forward and bright, and
That's exactly the like flavor profile of
so
it.
that's the thing is if you go back, I asked you what you expected, and you were right. So the fact that you're now able to start creating flavor profiles from the get and you're not guessing, that's a statement of artistry. That's a statement of confidence, and it's a statement of skill. Like this next, oh my God, I love being your friend. This summer's gonna be so much fun. You're gonna be brewing so many delicious things that I get to taste. I'm so excited.
Beers and pools.
When you run out of room for storing beers, I will take them.
My 8 empty kegs
This
right
was-
now.
This was even better than you led me to believe it would be. It's so good. You guys,
I'm really happy it turned out. Cheers.
go pour another one.
Mm.
Oh yes, dump that. Well,
We'll
from
call this
your-
one a success.
definitely. I'm sorry. We're gonna what?
The success.
No, but like I just interrupted you. I was gonna have you say it. So
Well, we're gonna call this one a success.
from your COVID vaccine to mine, may we all have a beer and a vaccine.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe. If you do, Jenny will probably come around more often.
Let's be honest. We know you liked it. I know you probably liked her more than me. It's okay. I like her more than me too most of the time.
Shut up.
She's the one that gives me beer.
You give me friendship.
Oh, that was really nice.
Anyway.
Give us friendship, likes, and subscribe.
And if you want bonus content, go to the Patreon. I am posting videos of me reviewing beers for the podcast and stuff, and it's really weird because I'm in my closet.
Hey, she started a podcast, guys. It's really cool because Sarah was always nervous about being on camera, so once you get her off camera, you get to learn even more. Listening to her talk about beer it's really educational and really cool. You should definitely subscribe to the podcast, Brewing After Hours with Sarah Flora.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Thank
I don't
you.
know if you know that I listen to it, but I totally
I
listen
love
to
that.
it. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
I haven't told you that yet.
My mom listens to it too.
It's really good.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. I want to give a shout out to my newest patron, Brian. Thanks so much for your support.